The recession is now behind us, and in its wake, we find the new normal, also the theme of this year's Reposition 2011. The annual symposium is looking to prepare supply chain and logistics professionals for the constant changes in the road ahead. This year's event is set for October 26th to 28th in Montreal, Quebec. To find out more about this great setting for a great event, we spoke with Valerie McSween, Vice President of the Eastern Region for MacTrans Logistics and also Chair of the Montreal Area Council of CITT.
Our council is really excited about hosting Reposition 2011. We haven't been to Montreal in 10 years, so this is really an occasion for us to add a bit of the French flavor to this event. To ensure you get the most out of every hour in Montreal this year, we are hosting the event at the Delta Centre-Ville, located strategically between Old Montreal and the newer part of the city where they kind of blend together seamlessly. Well, we're kicking off the ceremony Wednesday evening. We're hosting a cocktail at the Musée Pointe-à-Calière. It's probably one of the best museums in Canada. It's a historic location, and the CITT has this way of always finding these historic sites so that people who do come to our conference not only learn about logistics and everything that has to do with Reposition, but they also get a feel for our nation's history. You come to Montreal, you come and experience everything the city has to offer, plus you're in one of Canada's major transportation hubs. Bienvenue à Montréal.
In this industry, there are a lot of conferences, and they all claim to be the top events for learning. But what sets Reposition apart from the pack? We asked Andrew Dixon, Senior Vice President of Planning and Development for the St. John Port Authority, who's been attending Reposition since 2001.
It's true, I've attended a lot of conferences, and I still do through the run of a year. In my opinion, as a logistics conference, this is second to none. The topics are always very well thought out, very well researched, and the feedback that is received year after year is extremely positive. Now, the first conference I went to was in 2001, and that was in Montreal, where this conference is taking place this year. It's my first conference, so I thought I'll combine some business meetings with conference attendance. I haven't done that again because I missed out on, as a result of that, some extremely important and some very, very good subject matter. So now I'm committed. This is a conference, when you attend it, really it deserves and it demands your full attention, and it's extremely worthwhile. It's on my list every year as a must-do, and I look forward to the conference this fall.
Organizers of Reposition have always reinforced the takeaway from the event, how delegates can gather information and immediately bring it back to their workplaces. Don Connolly, logistics analyst with Monsanto Canada, told us how his takeaway has given his firm greater benefits.
First of all, I'd like to say that I've attended a number of logistics conferences over the years, but since 2006, Reposition is the only conference. And the reason for that is most other logistics conferences are on professional development alone. The educational component that you receive at Reposition is not only professional development, but also personal development. So this is what I sort of take back. Jim Gray in 2008, How Leaders Speak. 2009, we had Fiorella on HR. Things like this have taught me how to interact better with the people within my own organization to help me push forward processes that will improve on the bottom line. Other things that have happened, networking experiences, or meeting customers or future customers at Reposition have led to the bottom line. Last year, I met a fellow from G2 Logistics. He has become our secondary intermodal supplier now. So that's given me a backup rather than being tied to one supplier. I met somebody else from Ontario that we found synergies for backhaul and trucking on our seed side for soybeans and corn. So these have been direct results that have led to bottom line savings of anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000 a year. This is why my employer sees benefit. As a matter of fact, every year for Reposition, I have to do a cost-benefit analysis showing them why I should be attending this conference.
So what's on the program this year? Let's hear from Warren Serafinchen, Chair of the Board of Directors, to give us more details on the strengths of Reposition 2011.
I've attended Reposition for the last number of years, and consistently the feedback that we get from the conference is it is the best conference in Canada. So I'm personally very excited about the program. The first part of the program will focus on risk management, and logistics professionals need to have good contingency plans in place at all times. I think suffice to say, given the recent tragic events in Slave Lake, Alberta, it reinforces the importance of having plans in place And simply put, you cannot start building a plan once the incident has taken place. So part of what we're going to offer attendees at Reposition is training around how to develop good contingency plans and how to manage risk. It's extremely important. The next part of the program will focus on providing attendees important legal updates around changes in the regulatory environment that we need to understand. Being compliant with regulations is critical for any logistics professional. So we're going to have experts in the room that will provide those legal updates to all attendees. The third piece of the program will focus on leadership development. At our conference, one of the points of differentiation is the fact that we not only provide technical skills and training, but ultimately provide a significant amount of focus around leadership development. Because logistics professionals are leaders and need to be leaders within their respective businesses. And again, I think that's a differentiator of Reposition versus other conferences in Canada. And then the final piece will be the case studies that we provide around some really interesting logistics operations and challenges. So I'm very excited about the program. I think the fact that we're going to have senior executives from a number of different areas of business in the room, presenting their ideas, concepts, and really sharing what they've come to learn and what's critical for attendees to understand. So I believe this will be the best conference that we've ever put on. It is the best conference in Canada, and I look forward to personally seeing everyone in Montreal in October.
For more information on Reposition 2011 in Montreal, visit www.citt.ca.